play number 3 here on the opening drive, and it's an early 3rd and 1.
No, check, Patriot!
Rosen just getting the snap off at 1. And the Redskins do get to him. He goes down for a sack. Mason Foster coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. On 4th down, here's Andy Leon to kick it away. On 1st and 10, Smith. Oh, he's going to air it out right. This is intercepted. Picked off at the 46. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Oh, man, Brandon, not a real good throw that time. It looked like he tried to put a little too much air under this one, and it turned into a floater. And defensively, this is a dream. He could have fair caught that one. That was way too easy.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field.
They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
He'll get a nice chunk there on the 1st down run, and it's 2nd and 4. Play action here with Rosen. Dumping it off for Johnson. And he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. They call that a loss of 6 yards. And it's 3rd down now.
That play was well covered. Just tried to check it down. Unfortunately, not able to find any yardage on that one.
Well, that last completion certainly not what they were hoping for, as now they'll try to convert on 3rd.
All right, here we go. Green 39! Green 39!
From the shotgun, it's Rosen. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. The Redskins making their way out. Last year, a fairly quiet 7-9. Now, the big change, of course, for 2018 here, exit Kirk Cousins, enter Alex Smith at quarterback. What does that change?
The change is that you have a quarterback who takes care of the football in a big way, but still can deliver downfield. Alex Smith has such a reputation for being careful that it's overblown. He will take the shot downfield. If receivers shake free, get open, he'll deliver it. The other part of that, they get an offensive line. If they can get health there and have consistency up front, that offense can move, and that's what they're going to need to do if they want to compete in the NFC East.
And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down. Throwing on 3rd down, Smith. And this is going to be incomplete.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. Now it's Peterson. Great blocking on the blitz brings him for 25. And the Cards will take over 1st and 10.
Well, the Cardinals coming out here, and take a look back, Charles, at 2017. Really, everything started going south. Unfortunately, week 1, that's when they lost David Johnson to a wrist injury. From there, they really couldn't turn it around.
And in the offseason, coaching change. Steve Wilkes now in charge. Comes with a defensive bent. Remember, he's a defensive coordinator with the Carolina Panthers. And he probably was blitzing from the time he took the job. That's how aggressive he is. On the offensive side of the ball, you know, there was going to be a battle for the quarterback spot. You knew they signed Sam Bradford. Josh Rosen was drafted. But the identity of this team, David Johnson, their running back. Missing him most of last season really changed the whole dynamic of their year.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. Stopped short of the 25. The nice move couldn't ultimately free him. So a pretty early first quarter roughing the passer penalty.
Seems like the officials are going to let everyone know they're taking charge of this game. They're always going to protect the quarterback.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer. Rosen off the play action. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Preston Smith able to get him down behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of a yard. The sack cost him only a yard. It's 2nd and 11. Now it's Rosen. Well, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more.
One thing that I liked about this guy during the draft process was his motor. Of course, I loved his skills, but he plays hard on every down.
And that motor on full display there as he gets his first NFL sack. 1st and 2nd down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big.
Over!
They go play action. It's Rosen. Josh Rosen put that one in the trophy case, his first NFL touchdown pass, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Here's Phil Dawson now for the point after. Dawson able to connect on the extra point, and that'll make this a 6-point game. Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Redskins offense now, they head back onto the field.
This is their 3rd drive. Right now, maybe not about points, just about getting something. They haven't gotten a first down yet in this game.
It's a mental barrier you don't think about until you go a couple of drives without getting a first down. Then all of a sudden it looms big. It gets harder and harder to actually attain that first down.
And he drops this off to Thompson, complete. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 2nd and about a yard to go for the first.
You guys go 52. Hey, gun.
Now Smith. This one complete to Jordan Reed. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Back live, Charles Davis to my right. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Redskin football to begin quarter number 2. And they've got it here with a first down. They'll hand it down to Geis. And a short gain down to about the 33. 2 yards on the pickup there. It'll be 2nd and 8.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Buying time to his left. That's going to be caught. It's Alex Smith's first touchdown pass as a Washington Redskin, as they are now on the board here in the first half. Getting your back involved, what's the importance there in the passing game?
Well, oftentimes you can create mismatches because who's going to cover him? And you get him into space, which is where he likes to operate with the ball in his hands. Oftentimes makes people miss, gets that run after the catch, and off he goes.
And into the end zone. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. This offense trots back out there now, and as they do, Charles, one thing to point out that we saw a second ago are some of the new rules in the NFL this year regarding kickoffs.
Yeah, nowadays, the kickoff team, no more running starts. Remember that when you kind of circle a guy around, and here he goes? No more. You have to start, close to the ball. And when it's kicked, then you get to take off and go, so you can't build up your speed that way. Also, when you're returning it, remember those wedges that we used to say where guys would form together, 2 or 3 guys? No more of those. So it'd be a lot more man-on-man, one-on-one blocking. And also they have rules about where people have to be when the ball's kicked, where they have to be when the ball's caught. So to me, it's much more like a punt return than it is an actual kickoff return. So I'm eager to see if teams now take their punt returners, those nifty guys who make people miss in the open field, and make them the kickoff returners as well, because I think you can still get big plays in this area if you have the right people back there.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And very little daylight there. He'll get a couple up to the 44.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On second down, here's Rosen. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry? Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
So the failure to connect on second down, that leaves him staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Now Rosen looking to throw. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And incomplete here on third down.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays. And you don't get many opportunities to dial them up. And they just did. And they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
Now the Redskins offense, they get set to go back to work here. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown. Now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
And he's able to get this across the 10 before being taken down. They needed some breathing room. He gave it to them. 11 yards and a first down.
Love the run right there, and when you analyzed him coming out of college, when you tried to put a grade on him, you saw the flashes while he was in school, but you didn't see the full production. You didn't see the finished product. He's a little bit raw, but you can see why people liked him. Those types of runs make you think there's plenty more there, and we'll see if that continues for him.
And he's brought down, but not before they get it across the 20-yard line. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks. On first down, this is Geis. And not much there. Maybe a yard up to the 24.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Geis with the carry on second down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2, now third down.
An interesting and intriguing decision there defensively because they kept extra DBs on the field despite seeing the multiple tight end look that came out for the offense.
I thought they were going to switch out of it. I didn't know if they felt they didn't have time or what the case was.
Well, in any event, the extra speed allowed for great penetration as they stuffed that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's brought in by Jackson. And they're able to get this one across the 35.
Smith finding Doxson that time for a Washington first.
Brandon, that's a tough guy right there. He knew that was going to happen. In other words, he had to absorb that hit. How about him securing the football, churning the legs a little bit, and gaining what he needed for a first down?
Well, that's the deal. On third down, these guys, they know where the sticks are. He obviously knew right there.
And if you want to be a dependable...
Blitz coming, and down he goes. Chandler Jones in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8.
Jones had 4 years in New England, now in his third with the Cardinals.
And he's really gotten acclimated in the desert, hasn't he? 11 sacks in his first season with the team in 2016. 17 last year, which led the NFL. And how about his last 5 years? 58 sacks, the most in the NFL.
Now a run with Geis, and he'll get about 4 across the 30 to the 32. Seventh play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down.
Red, please. 5. You got 50.
Out of the gun, Smith.
A deep ball for Dotson. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So they decline it as that will bring up 4th.
And I know that yardage and field position are keys to any game played, but you've got to consider downs when you're talking about penalties, and they wisely did not take that one and made it 4th down.
But fortunately, he's able to recover his own fumble, and that could have been trouble.
I know there's no magnet in the ball, but sometimes for the punt returner, after such a scramble, it sort of feels that way, doesn't it? He has it, he loses it, somehow the ball finds its way back to him.
Atone for his sin, and you know he's taking a deep sigh of relief right now.
And they'll start the drive on the ground with Johnson. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. And now we're going to get a timeout called by the Redskin defense, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Now Rosen to throw on second down. Underneath for Johnson. And he's got some space here. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 5 yards on the pickup. And just like that, it's third down.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way. And really, we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
The Cardinals on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Rosen. Looking for Fitzgerald, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Fabian Moreau. And he will score. Touchdown, Washington.
What you just saw there, first-round talent. Second year, even more success. A pick 6 for a touchdown.
A great play. And it's tough for these guys, you've told me before, to adjust in the secondary as a first-year guy. So that sophomore season is big for them.
They really start to expand the playbook for them even more. Sometimes they dumb it down a little bit to make them comfortable year 1. By year 2, they should have all the nuances, and now they've adjusted to the speed of NFL play as well.
Showed right there.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. Back to the air, Rosen after the pick 6. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. The Redskins looking for another timeout, and they get it.
as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Four yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. Out of the gun, here's Josh Rosen. Caught by Nelson left side. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 13 yards as the quick slant keeps the drive moving. The first down carry here for Johnson. And he'll push his way up to about the 44 here. In on the stop, the safety, Troy Apke. Earlier this half, you were wondering how the defense was going to handle him defensively. Were they going to bottle him up at different levels, so to speak, is what you said. What have you seen so far?
Well, I think they've been absolutely terrific because it feels like on every play, if we were watching this in the film room, when you clicked off the film or stopped it, you would see 11 shirts of that same color right there in the frame trying to tackle.
And that's caught inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. First down now, but the clock continues to move.
I'd have to say that whenever you see a good post route run, they do not like to let it in without the catch. Hence, that great dive.
Looks for Nelson, and it's intercepted. Picked off by DJ Swearinger. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. Oh, and I saw the pressure coming at him. That just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it. And the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step into a throw. And when you can't do that, oftentimes interceptions result.
The tackle there by Patrick Peterson. On the handoff, it's Geis. And he powers his way up past the 30. And with just 4 seconds left in this first half, a timeout call. The Redskins on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. They'll try and get it with Geis. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll check in for the first time with the newest member of our Madden family. It's Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Take it away, Coach. We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
On the ground, it's Geis. And not much room to operate as he'll get this up only to about the 41. They'll fake it. Now Smith. Rolling to his left. Now he's going to throw deep back over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
I know the initial focus was on how far that pass was downfield, but how about the coverage on the play? Able to stay with him, get his hands where the receiver's hands were going to try and catch the ball, tips it up in the air, and knocks it away.
The Redskins on third down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd and 9. A shotgun snap for Smith. And that is incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
Here's Tressway now as he's on to punt for Washington.
And a little too much mustard on that one. It hits a couple yards into the end zone. A missed opportunity there maybe to pin them back. The Cardinals offense now ready to get their first opportunity here in the second half. They were able to get the stop defensively. Now a chance to turn that into points on the offensive end.
Can you imagine what the grease board looks like at the half? Because
no, tell me.
That's exactly what they printed up. Stop them on defense, get the ball back for our offense, and go downfield and score some points. Now, the last part remains to be seen, but they got the first part done very well.
Do people use grease boards, or you mean the magic marker boards?
Yeah, those two.
And that's a loss of 7 on the first down play. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On second down, Johnson. And he'll get this one up to about his 14. And they only get a yard back there. They'll be left with a third down and long.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
Third and long here for Rosen. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. We saw this a lot in the first half, and it continues. These receivers just not able to get much separation.
So that means they have to win the 50-50 balls. They've got to go up with the defender and find a way to start coming down with them.
And this time, contact and another incomplete pass. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. This crew had to punt last time they had the ball, but when you've got a lead like this, you content to play the field position game?
You are to an extent, especially if you like your defense, because you have the lead, you've been controlling the game. But why put them in a tougher spot? You want to get out there and get something done on offense and maybe take command of this game yourself.
Robert Kimdichie, the one to bring him down.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Again, they run. Again, it's Geis. They'll get only a couple down to the 44.
Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there.
Let's go.
Here's Smith on third down. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
On the ground, this is Johnson. And a nice carry there, 15 yards.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And now running right through it. And he's brought down after a good gain. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. As David Johnson works his way back from the wrist injury, what are the hesitations, the cautions for him?
Well, number one, you want to make sure he's got full strength in the wrist because he's going to carry the football an awful lot, so ball security is important. And you definitely want to make sure there's flexibility there because he's been such a great pass catcher in the past. You want to make sure he gets back to being able to do that as well.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. Rosen on 1st and 10. He's going to rifle one deep left side. And it's knocked away and incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
Gun!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And this time he's going backwards. So after the no gain on the last attempt, here they get him behind the line.
Brandon, we're into the second half, and this offense has not scored a lot of points, and that was another example of why. I think it's time to open things up and start really trying to move the ball.
All right, here we go. Green, 39. Green, 39. Gun!
Now Rosen. He can't avoid the pressure. Redskins get there. Zach Brown in there to get him for a loss of 9, and that'll lead to 4th down. Here's Andy Lee now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. A look at Washington as they come onto the field.
They're going to have to go at least 50, 60 yards here if they want to ensure that they don't have to punt the ball like they did last time.
Yeah, so what you're saying is we're not playing to just get out of the shadow of your own goal line, right? You're playing to make sure the punter doesn't see the field again. So it's not picking up a couple of first downs. You want to pick up 5 or 6 first downs and make sure you move the ball into their territory.
They'll try to get this running game going with Geis. And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. Give him a couple on the carry there. 2nd and 8.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is a well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Here's Smith. Out to the left here to Reed. And they'll get him down right at around the 11-yard line. Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
From the gun on 3rd down, Smith. On the catch, it's Crowder. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. First catch for the Redskins, leader in the receiving yardage category a year ago. Good for a 1st down. Geis receives the pitch. And room to run as he's up past the 35-yard line. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Redskins with the football and the lead as we start the 4th. To throw on 2nd down is Smith. Completes it right side to Dodson. And he's brought down after a good gain. A good pickup there of 22.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
Smith now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. It's Geis on the counter.
And he'll take it inside the 40 to the 39-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Now, think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario.
Oh, no, he lost the football.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Smith from the gun on 3rd down. He finds his target. It's Crowder. And he picks up the first before he's taken down at the 29. It'll be a Redskin first down as Smith hits Crowder. Smith will bring his guys up 1st and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Now a toss. This is Geis. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Smith now to throw. Crowder's got it over the middle. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. A solid pickup of 13 sets him up 1st and goal. This is something you got to be wary of defensively. I mean, just because they're in the mode of trying to burn some clock doesn't mean they won't pass it, and they got good yardage out of that one.
Yeah, and really, when you're looking at it, now they've got a fresh set of downs. Look for 2nd down if they want to take another shot and try and loosen things up. That'd be the time to do it.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. The 4th quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
Rolling to his right. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead. You've got to protect it. And he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
And they're going to get him. They bring him down to the sack back at the 16-yard line. Corey Peters in there to drop him for a 4-yard loss, and it'll be 4th down. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. And he missed it. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So this defense gets an assist from the goalpost, and as a result, it's going to keep them within 1 score.
Yeah, and that looked to be good the whole way. But that is a big break here in the 4th quarter of a football game. Now your offense needs to find a way to capitalize.
Well, some good games around the league here early in week 1, and this one's shaping up to be as good as any of them as we come up on a 1st and 10. They begin the drive with Johnson. Oh, now he bowls him over. And he's going to get this one across the 30-yard line. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
Not much there. Maybe a couple up to the 35.
Well, he was looking for some running room, and there wasn't a whole lot of it there on that play. I think he was lucky to get a couple yards out of it because those defenders, they were rallying to the football pretty quickly.
They don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway. On second down, Rosen. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by DJ Swearinger. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
They'll run with Geis. And a solid run down inside the 30. Time for a break. We'll come back for the electrifying conclusion after this.
You guys go 52. Hey, gun.
Throwing now, Smith. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. To throw is Smith. That is caught right at the 10-yard line. And he is into the end zone for a Washington touchdown. Jamison Crowder, 29 yards. And the interception by the Redskins. Deed leads to a touchdown. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And he'll make it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Arizona getting ready to go as they take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. That's caught on the left side by Kirk. And he'll be marked down deep in Washington territory. A big play there on the catch and run. 56 yards.
Lucky 56.
From the red zone now, here's Rosen on first down. And he's got it. And he'll take this one in for the Arizona touchdown. Larry Fitzgerald, already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Cardinals draw a bit closer. Dawson tacks on the point after as this gets him back within a touchdown and a two-point conversion. Well, when you're leading in the fourth quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll take it back to about the 19-yard line. A look at Washington as they come onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And a short pickup there as he'll take this up to right around the 20. And now the Cardinals are going to use another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. They stay on the ground. Geis again. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. And now the question everyone's wondering, look at the clock, late fourth quarter. Do they put the ball in the air here on third?
I don't. I run the football, and I tell my offensive line, no leakage up front. I don't want my running back hit as I hand the ball off to him. I don't want any type of an issue. But if I am going to throw it, quick throw, out to the perimeter, maybe one of my best receivers running a quick slant or something like that. I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Now with just 1 second showing on the play clock, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Tressway now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. On the return is Peterson. A good return there. Call it 13 yards. And control of the football, switching hands here with very little time remaining in this contest. So out now come the Cardinals. Critical condition here, obviously. Got to hope to get something quick right and then maybe take that shot deep.
And once they do take the big shot, you've got to worry on defense. Of course, no one getting behind the defense and make it an easy throw. But nowadays, it's not just the ball being tipped in the air and people in the end zone in a cluster. It's that guy that's short of the end zone who comes up and ends up making the play because he goes unguarded. So there's a lot to think about if you're playing defense in this situation.
We'll see if they can cover all their bases. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. Quentin Dunbar right there on the coverage. These are the spots, this stage of the game, where it pays to have speed on the perimeter, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and in the second quarter, he may very well have run by him, but in this situation, I know as a defender, I'm loosening up a couple of extra steps that allowed him to run with him stride for stride.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. He's back to throw. He's going to let it fly. And it's incomplete. So they're